Hello and welcome to GTA 3, the playthrough, episode number 14. And this is a very short episode because we're only doing one mission here, and this is, of course, bait from Asuka. Now, at this point I had already failed this mission multiple times, so therefore, we basically need to cover a few things. First of all, I want to explain again how the mission works. What you have to do is lure a bunch of death squads, Colombian death squads that is, in cars, to a certain secluded location in Shoreside Vale. Now, I was going to say that this should be easy. It is not. For some reason, during this playthrough, it's decided to be a right little bugger and not work. So essentially, I've skipped out all the failures. I died a couple of times in ridiculous fashion. Don't worry, I may end up I was going to say reviewing, not reviewing, releasing a video of all my deaths during this playthrough, sort of as a bonus thing, and I will be speeding it up shortly because, you know, to save time. So, one of the strange things that's happened is this. Because for some reason it's being a bugger. The AI has definitely changed a bit since the last time I played it, and there's no real reason for that. No one's actually gone into the game and made an update, so I don't know why that is. Anyway, it's just to lead them in here, right, and then ramp off out of there. Now the first time it goes fine, you know, right there. And also watch that other ramp, by the way. That's another surefire way to get you killed. So don't ramp off too quickly off that ramp. Now, something else strange also happens in this mission, at the end of it anyway. I managed to lure 2 groups of the death squads to the location and have them killed. However, the weird thing starts when the third one comes along. And when the third one comes along, for some reason the game forgets that they've been killed, and therefore I have to drive away to make them despawn and make the game remember that they've been killed. So that's a weird thing that's happened. And also you may notice that, you know, I'm not doing any of the killing here. It's all up to the Yakuza, so it's their AI that also you're relying on here. And by the end of it all, it doesn't seem that there's a lot of Yakuza guys left, you know, to actually do the killing. So, basically, I can't do anything about that. I can't physically intervene in any way. The only thing I can do is lure these guys around. And as you can see, that, you know, those guys are still alive. They drove out, because they follow you constantly if they're not being killed. And they are now, though. Anyway, the last group of them is at the Cochrane Dam, which is over here, on the other side, and I'm going to be putting it back to normal speed quite soon. So basically, the game decided to forget that these guys have been killed when I lured them in. And you have to stay ahead of them, of course, and you're not allowed to get out of the car without being in that zone, right? Because you're supposed to lead them into the trap. So the game is being a bit harsh here, I think. I think it would have been a lot better if I could actually intervene at one point, at least in here, and help out these guys, because clearly they don't seem to be able to do it on their own. So, the actual death squads themselves are armed with a bunch of nasty weapons that I don't really want to go toe to toe with. Right, 10 kills. So that implies that some of them have been killed, 2 of them, but there's 2 of them still left and they're driving about. Or are they? Oh wait, no. Because now they count as still being alive for some reason. Okay, there's 1 guy left. And this is the weird thing. They're clearly dead, the car's blown up, right? They should have died, and they should have counted towards the kill count, which is 12 to pass the mission. However, now I have to drive all the way around and essentially wait for them to despawn, I guess. and then the game registers me as completing the mission. It's very weird. I don't know why it's done that, but it's done that a few times whilst I've been playing, and I cut out all the rest. So just take my word on that. If anyone knows why this happens, kindly do tell me, but obviously, you know, I highly doubt anyone has an explanation for this. Because it wasn't like this before. It wouldn't do this. It was perfectly fine. Right, there we go. Mission passed. 35 grand. Whew, that mission was a pain to complete. A pain. Because I had to do it over and over again until it decided to work. And this time I got lucky enough to make it so that it did work. So anyway, now that we've finished that, I want to talk a tiny bit about the next playthrough that I'm planning, which is the Battlefield 1. I almost said Battlefield 5 there, because that's the most recent one. And, you know, I would play Battlefield 5, it's just that I did not enjoy the beta. I wasn't too big a fan of it, and I would have picked that up last year, but unfortunately I didn't think to, because I didn't really like it all that much. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and redo Battlefield 1. Now, Battlefield 1 was technically my very first Let's Play, but it was, for a start, it was awful. I live streamed it, because I didn't know how to record back then with the PS4. And the audio quality was terrible as always, and as was my microphone. So, this time around I'm going to be doing it very similar to how I'm doing this. So, pre-recorded footage with commentary recorded over it. And that sounds good, because, you know, it's a more recent game, and I actually enjoyed playing that one as well. And I hope I'm not going to die too much on that one. So hopefully I'll have a video once this series is all done with. That's when I'll be focusing all my attention on the Battlefield 1. But I may just upload the intro somewhere in the near future. In the very near future anyway. Either way, that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed watching and watching my frustrations. I saved you the inconvenience of watching all the failures. But anyway, we've gotten through with it. 7 minutes and 44 seconds of video over and done with. I'll see you in the next one.